How's it going, everybody? Day 2, another day. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of letting you know what's going on. One of the projects that's in store is actually I'm ready to reveal it. I've actually been working on this for a little while now. It's probably been about a month or so since I bought it. It's been a fun project to me. I've really enjoyed it. It's actually one of the first ones that we're gonna actually start right now. Overall, it's gonna be a power plant. It's going to be a fun little project. I'll do a little reveal over it right now and kind of do a walk around on it, so that way give you guys an idea of what I've already done to it and what I plan on doing to it. So this is going to be a little fun day today. So here it is. It's an E36 BMW. Surprisingly enough, I picked this thing up for close to nothing. I ended up getting this whole piece here for a whopping $100 from Atascadero, California. Me and a couple friends went up there, picked it up, brought it back, and surprisingly enough, a battery is really all it needed. The engine runs in this thing. It's a 318i is what it is, so it's just a little 4-cylinder, but surprisingly enough, it runs. Everything actually runs on it. As most people know, these cars are really good for what they are for cornering, traction and stuff like that. They are really good compensating cars for the track and everything like that. The car hasn't been registered in God knows how long. I picked it up and it was sitting out in the freaking desert, basically out in a ditch. So from when I picked it up until now, I've done basically a couple things. Lexan windows, a little paint job on it just to get it a little cleaner looking. Slapped my sticker on it through the Lexan windows inside of here, through the Lexan window in the back, kind of shaving weight without having to go with the whole regular windows, adding a little bit of weight to this. My plans for this car is going to be a track car. So the car will end up being mostly track. It will never see the street. So this is what it is. This is the first project. I've done little things to it. Like I said, I mentioned the Lexan. I've gutted the interior, so all the interior is done. It's a mess in there right now, being that I have worked on it prior to my hand going out. I did put a push button ignition inside there, so it did have a push button ignition switch added in that I had to kind of place in due to the owner before decided it was a great idea to smash the ignition column. That is awesome. So I added one of these fancy things so that way it works without having to use a key. Fancy race car stuff, I guess. As you can tell, there's no windshield, but don't really need one at the moment. I do plan on making it, like I said, a full track car, so this will not have anything besides what would need to be safe. I mean, I'm going to put a roll cage in it. It's going to have every little power plant that I need for this right now. You may wonder why am I putting a roll cage into a 4-cylinder car, and why am I making it a track car? Well, being that it only cost me $100, it would actually benefit me better to make a track car out of this than it would to actually try to get this thing back on the road or anything like that. Another cool thing is I have a power plant that's going to actually go inside of this. That little 4-cylinder that's in here will not be in there very long. Let's pop the hood and see what's underneath it. And there she is. There's the 4-cylinder. Like I said, it's your basic 4-cylinder. It's BMW's 3.8 liter or 1.8 liter, and it isn't the greatest of things, but I can imagine what else is gonna go in here. Like I said, I'm that Ford 5.0. Some of you may ask, why a Ford? Why 5.0? Like, why go that way? Well, to make it easier, question would be, why not? I already have one. That's what makes this decision quite easy. I actually have 2 of these. I have another one sitting on the floor right there with the pistons in the blue. That one on the floor is actually a 306, so that one I probably plan on actually stroking. That one's probably going to be a 331 stroker at the end of it. And the one on the stand right now is just your basic one that I actually just pulled out of a junkyard. This one right here is the one that is going to end up being inside of that BMW first, while the 331 stroker gets built. The stroker, of course, is going to be a better power plant of overall, but I always want to have my fun, and so this one is going to be cleaned up, freshened up with everything, new components on it, new heads that I already have, and the intake manifold that I already have. I just got to clean everything up and get it all up and running, and then this will end up being dropped right inside of the BMW. So where that little 4-cylinder was, this will be the new home for that. Can't wait for that project, and that one's not going to be that long away, but probably a few months from now. After seeing the engine and the car that it's going in, you kind of have an idea where I'm going. Some of you may still have some ideas or some things that you want to say or want to know. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think, or what you think maybe I should do, or kind of ideas. I'll take them all into consideration. We'll ever know. I know one thing's going to be like, why did you choose 5.0? Why did you do that? Simplest is that these engines are reliable. They're easily reliable. They're not hard to maintain. They're extremely cheap when it comes to getting one basically already ready to go. You can get one pretty cheap, almost under $1,000 at some places that you can get a ready to go 5.0 V8 engine. And for the price of having to do all that, you can get an LS block, you can get an M52 block, you can basically change this whole thing in any different way. But price effective and cost worthy is kind of where I'm going with this. I'm not very rich, I don't have mad money to put into this. Being it's a drift car, number one thing, you know drift cars, they are not reliable, they always break down, you always got to fix them. And I'm prepared for that, so that's why I'm choosing 5.0. I know these engines like the back of my hand, these are very common engines to me, so doing a swap like this and having this behind me is actually going to be a lot easier when it comes to track time and I have to troubleshoot something or just anything really. This is a lot more reasonable for my circumstances. Anybody else may have a different setup. Maybe you're the one who knows how to do LS, LS is like your back of your hand. You know those swaps like nothing. That's your motor, that's what you're going to use, that's what you're going to go after. This one's cheap, way cheaper, and a little bit more just easier to maintain, I feel. It's a push-rod motor, single cam, so there's nothing really that crazy. Older LS motors like that are the same things that you can basically make decent horsepower with. This engine right here, with like when I make the 306 engine, that one can push anywhere from 425 up to 550 horsepower. All depends on how you want to actually set it up. This one right here is probably only going to push 320 maybe horsepower, and so that's really all I'm kind of like going for. I'm not looking for a whole lot, but what's inside this car and the chassis that it's in is actually a little bit better than what this engine came out of. This engine was out of a 95 Mustang that I pulled out of the junkyard. Luckily enough, at the same time that I was able to do all that, I actually pulled the same mass airflow computer from it. So I have the whole system for this engine. Makes the swap 10 times easier when you have everything ready to go. I am missing a couple pieces, like I do not have the transmission at the moment, but that will be on next buys. Of course, things always come in, so there will be like revealings of parts and stuff as I get things in, because this thing does need a lot of stuff. I do need suspension, I do need, let's see, a front windshield, I do need some extra BMW wheels. Like, there is things that I do still need, so I mean, a front bumper, for example. So there's little things that I can use cosmetically and little things I can use internally on the car, seats, stuff like that, that I gotta get ready. before I even get this thing ready to even go anywhere else. The roll cage, everything else got to go in. But that's the idea behind why I'm doing this motor. Just a quick, simple reason of why I'm choosing it. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. This is my sign out for this one. I was going to do some work on the car today, but decided not to. Other things came up, so I'm not going to be able to do them. But I will be actually coming back with some new content within the next 2 days. And it will be when the diff is coming out. I'll get full video of the diff coming out. I'll get that all welded up and everything. And I gotta go do a couple errands and stuff to grab a few things that I need for the car. So all that's gonna end up coming into play. You'll probably get footage of some of that, some of the little things I gotta do. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Peace.